everyone, today we would like to present our digital storytelling project for our linguistic assignment. For this project, we interviewed 2 respondents who are speakers of the Bidayuh language. The purpose of this interview is to collect information about traditional foods, traditional games, and also to study the language used in their daily conversation. We recorded the interview using audio recording. After that, we transcribed the audio using Elan software. Then, we translated the transcription from Bidayuh to Malay language. From this project, we were able to learn more about language information, culture, and traditional lifestyle of the Bidayuh community. This project is important because traditional language and culture should be preserved for future generations.
We interviewed 2 respondents for this project. The first respondent is 59 years old and has a lot of knowledge and experience about traditional foods and traditional games in the past. The respondent shares many stories about life in the village, traditional activities, and childhood games. The second respondent is 21 years old and represents the younger generation. The second respondent shares her experience about traditional foods and games that she still knows and sometimes plays. From these 2 respondents, we can see the difference between the older generation and the younger generation in terms of culture, lifestyle, and traditional activity. Both respondents can speak Bidayuh and Malay language, so it was easier for us to understand the interview and doing a translation.
From the interview, we learned about traditional food from the Bidayuh community. The first respondent talked about ayam panso. Ayam panso is a traditional food cooked in bamboo. The chicken is made with traditional ingredients such as ginger, lemongrass, and other spices, and then cooked inside bamboo over a fire. This cook is usually prepared during festival, celebration, and family gatherings. The second respondent talked about tiboduk, which is a traditional Bidayuh food similar to dodol but slightly different in textures and preparation method. Tiboduk is usually sweet and takes a long time to cook because it needs to be stirred continuously. Traditional food is very important because it represents the culture and identity of the Bidayuh community. It also shows the traditional cooking method that are still used today.
Besides traditional food, the respondent also talked about traditional games. The first respondent mentioned games such as gasing and sorok-sorok. Gasing is a spinning top game that was very popular among children and teenagers in the past. Players compete to see whose gasing spin the longest. Sorok-sorok is a hide-and-seek game that children usually play in groups. One person will close their eyes and count, while the others hide in different places. This game is very fun and helps children develop teamwork and social interaction. The second respondent also mentioned sorok-sorok as a popular traditional game. Traditional games are important because they show how children spend their time before modern technology and mobile phones. These games are part of cultural heritage and should be preserved.
Okay, from the transcription, we noticed some interesting linguistic features in the Bidayuh language used by the respondent. So one of the features that we noticed is the sound chain, where the older speakers sometimes will replace the sound L with the sound R. For example, like the Malay words like jalan, okay, they was pronounced it as jaran, jarang by the older respondent. So this shows us a phonological variation in pronunciation between speakers, especially from the older generations. So we also notice pauses and intonation patterns in the conversation because it was a natural spoken interviews. So the respondents sometimes repeated words to explain something more clearly. We also noticed some code switching between Bidayo and the Malay languages during the conversations. So this observation helped us to understand more about the linguistic features of the spoken language and differences between the speakers. In conclusion, this digital storytelling project helped us to learn many new things about the Bidayo community language, like including the traditional food, traditional game, and the language used by them. So we also learned how to transcribe audio using Ilan software and translate the transcription from Bidayo into Malay. This project was challenging, but it was very interesting too and meaningful for us. We hope that the traditional languages and the culture will continue to be preserved in the future. Thank you for listening to our presentations.